right, so today I am joined by John Calhoun. You have a talk show over at Cafe Istanbul across the street from here.
Across the street from where we are right now.
Right here.
Yeah.
Over at Cafe Istanbul. It's called Spotlight New Orleans. And it is, and I've seen it, and I've seen it several times.
Yeah.
I've been a couple of times. And it is essentially, you're essentially Johnny Carson.
Absolutely.
For New Orleans.
That's
and,
it.
And
you nailed it. Yes.
That is it. You got the monologue, you got the funny bits, you got guests, and that should put everything that you need to know in your head about this show. You're David Letterman, you're Jimmy Fallon.
You wear a desk.
Suit, desk,
couch.
There's a couch.
Thing, yes.
You got a band.
Got a great band.
You got
an
like
announcer.
Paul Schaefer's over there or whatever.
Yes.
An announcer. I mean, it is a talk show. So that is and obviously that format has been done before, but it's a really great format. I grew up with Letterman. I was a Letterman fan.
Me too. Yeah, I grew up with Letterman. Yes.
And so that was just a big one. So but you've taken it and you put a New Orleans spin on it. So how did that come about? Why did you decide to do that as a stage? And it's a stage show, not a TV show.
Right. Well, so what I do professionally is I'm a professional benefit auctioneer.
Okay.
So I'm the guy that talks fast and tries to get people to buy things at charity fundraisers.
Okay.
And a lot of times, yes.
Okay.
And often when I'm doing my charity fundraisers, I have a live band backing me up.
Okay.
So when I'm like 100 and a quarter and a half and 75 and a 2 and a 2 and a 2, they're kind of playing along with me.
Okay.
Sold for $1,800, right here to benefit Coffee with Kevin. We do a fundraiser for your show.
That would be great.
Yeah. I have the band playing, making it more exciting. And way back in the day when I was in my 20s, I did a lot of comedic performing on stage.
Okay.
And there was a long period of my life where I didn't do much of that, except when I did fundraising auctions. And so I had a regular band with me, and I had a microphone and an audience, and I missed that.
You missed the comicking end of it.
Yeah, and engaging with an audience and sharing that. And after one of these fundraising auctions, somebody came up to me and was like, "John, you should have your own show." I was like, yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. And so the whole David Letterman concept kind of popped into my head.
Yeah.
And all these ideas came. It's like, but we'll do it about New Orleans, and it'll focus on the talent and culture of our city. But we'll do it as a live show so people can come see it.
You go see it as a stage show. It's a theater show.
Yeah, and not just something that's
It's not a crappy YouTube show.
Not necessarily on TV, but I was like, but I need a band. If you're going to have a late night talk show, you got to have a house band.
Right.
So I asked my auction band
to come.
I was like, I have this crazy idea. What do y'all think? And they were in from the beginning. They loved the idea. And my drummer and band leader, Steve Walkup.
Steve.
Here it is, almost 6 years later, and he's still with us, leading our fantastic band.
Steve's your Paul Schaefer, essentially.
He's the Paul Schaefer. He's kind of I think he's a more refined, I want to say better looking Paul Schaefer.
Well, that's not. I mean, that doesn't take too much. Yeah. So your band backs you up, and of course New Orleans is live music, so you bring that New Orleans funk into it, and the band is a perfect mix for the show.
Absolutely.
I think.
And so it went from there. At the time, I did 3 seasons as the Good Night Show with John Calhoun.
Okay.
And Steve Walkup's next door neighbor was a comedy writer. This guy Duncan Pace. And so all these kind of pieces came together. My friend Benjamin Arthur Ellis had that perfect announcer's voice. And so he was the announcer for the first 3 years. After 3 years, we kind of went in a different direction, and we started a new show called Spotlight New Orleans with John Calhoun.
Okay.
Still me.
Still you.
Still me.
Same band, essentially?
Same band leader with some new band members, notably Margie Perez, a wonderful vocalist.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's great.
And so we have a great house band. A guy named Marcus Bronson wrote our theme song.
Oh,
He also is our tech director, and so wonderful people involved. And
one of my favorite parts of the show.
one of my favorite parts too.
Yeah, it is.
I can read your mind.
You know where I'm going.
I know where you're going.
And it's such a great idea. The ads.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my dancing.
Oh.
No.
The ads. I'm sorry about your dance. Yeah. Your ukulele playing. You got that. That's cool too.
Yes, one of the.
I'm sorry.
one of
To bring you down on the.
No. I'm just trying to be funny.
Yeah. The ads.
The ads. We do live commercials.
Because since it's a live show, the commercials are
Yeah.
live. So the lights change, and people come out and they act out ads.
So, for example, back in October, I had the very famous Crawfish King Al Scramuzza as a guest on my show.
Al Scramuzza.
And before the interview was over, I said, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with more Spotlight New Orleans. But first, let's hear it again for Al Scramuzza. They clapped, the band played him off, the lights went down, and our announcer says, and now, a word from our sponsor. The lights come up, and we have a fantastic troupe of actors that do comedy sketches.
That are
Real
ads.
commercials.
That are commercials.
For local businesses like, oh, we did a commercial for you
You
once.
did a commercial for me.
Yeah,
It was great.
yes.
So they come out and they talk about coffee and they they do a comedy sketch, but they're advertising a business.
Advertising real businesses like
Yes.
Door Furniture,
Yeah.
who also
Shane.
provides our set.
They
They deliver our couch every month.
Door
Door brings it.
Shane Mutter.
He's the president of Door Furniture,
Yeah,
a good friend,
Yeah.
and
He
so.
comes in for coffee too a lot.
Oh, great,
so
great,
I gotta-
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so since he comes in for coffee a lot, I get hustled into buying couches too.
Yeah.
But the ads are great. They're funny. They're fun. They're memorable. They stick with you, which is.
And I
which
think
is
there's
really
something extra funny about a comedy sketch actually being a commercial.
Cool. Yeah.
So they're watching these really funny actors, and they're laughing, and they're like, wait a minute, this is a muffler commercial.
And that
that's
really
great.
goes to the spirit of New Orleans because we had like the. Frankie and Johnny's Let 'Em Have It, and all that kind of stuff. The funny commercials
yes.
are definitely Al Scramuzza. You brought him up.
I brought him up, and so
that's
we
part
do.
of that works with a New Orleans talk show. The funny ads.
I think it does, and it provides more comedy for the show.
Yeah.
Comedy and variety for it, and it's a little bit of has like a throwback feel.
Yeah.
Kind of that '60s thing with these old.
With the old funny commercials.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You know?
It's like the little Rosenberg girl coming up and singing and all that. It's perfect. So this season is what? Your
So this is actually the 6th year
6th year.
that I've hosted a talk show over at Cafe Istanbul.
And you're kind of in the middle of the season right now.
Right, we just did episode 2 a couple nights ago.
Okay.
And we're getting ready for episode 3 in December.
And so how many episodes will a season be?
8.
Oh.
October through May, once a month.
October through May. Okay,
Yes.
so you've got plenty of time. There's no excuse to catch this season.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
The guests, they can.
Oh, yeah.
You need to go see that. For
December
sure.
13th, we got a great show.
Is that cool?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
It'll be great.
And then, come on, what's your big guests coming on the show?
Well, in December, we have the Zion Harmonizers. They are a world-famous gospel band.
Okay.
They're always on the gospel tent at
Yeah.
Jazz Fest and been around for decades.
That'll be.
And I'm excited because we've had Bounce. We've had Big Freed on the
yeah.
show. We've had Irma Thomas. We've had.
There was a brass band one night when I was.
Yes,
It
we've
was
had
awesome.
brass band music. We've had Cajun and Zydeco music. We've had singer-songwriters.
Yeah.
And we've had all kinds of different kinds of music.
Because the music guest ends the show, kind of like the.
We always have a musical guest.
Yeah, but like again,
Yes.
to be like I said in the beginning of this.
Oh,
just
yeah.
Picture the Letterman show, and there you go.
Absolutely.
You're
But
done.
our music reflects New Orleans and Louisiana
Yeah.
culture. But we haven't had gospel on this show yet.
Okay.
And
so that'll be
so this is gonna be great.
Cool.
I'm definitely looking forward to that.
I'm excited. Well, we're definitely gonna come by. I'm gonna bring the baby, and we'll come. And
Oh,
it'll
cool,
be fun.
cool.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. John, thank you so much for coming
Oh,
on
yes.
my show.
Yes,
And then
yes.
I really appreciate it. Like I said, it's not as good as your show, but I try. I do what I can.
Well, I'm glad I could bring a little bit of Spotlight New Orleans onto Coffee with Kevin. It's very meta.
It is.
It is, you know?
It
Yes.
is. I mean, it's like, well, we're like, across the street from each other, so
Yes,
we're kind of like
that too.
brethren.
Yes,
too,
I'm drinking your coffee.
Yep.
Talking about my show on your show.
Right.
While you're drinking your coffee on your show, talking about my show.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm
Yes.
thinking about your show.
And you've been a sponsor on
For
my
your
show.
Yep. And
That
now,
happened way before I was on your
and now
show.
you're on my show.
Talking about my show. Okay.
I'm totally lost now.
Oh.
John,
No
thank you so
recap.
much,
Thank
man,
you,
for
Kevin.
coming. Appreciate
Cheers.
it.
Yes,
Take care.
yes.